Hello and welcome to the channel. We're going to be looking at something today that I received. It's actually a gun that I'm not personally going to use. It's going to be given away. However, it is actually the same spec or very similar spec to a gun that I already own. And it's a gun that basically everybody knows. It's been around a long time, but this is a pre-upgraded pistol. So before we kick off, I'd like to just say, please, if you like today's video, hit the like button. If you want to see more content from the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification icon and you will get notified when we post new content. So we're going to be talking today about essentially the famous Tokyo Marui Mark 23 SOCOM pistol. It's this guy here. This has been, it's a pre-upgraded gun. I bought this pre-upgraded from Skirmshop UK, and the gun was actually upgraded by Snipermechanic, who works there. And we're going to talk about this gun and a little bit about the config and what's gone into it, and also its performance. So first things first, let's get into the box. This is a standard Tokyo Marui box, by the way. Pretty sort of standard stuff on the thing. It just shows you what's in the box, but we're going to look inside anyway. So I'm going to put that to one side. And it is basically a beautiful little case and has some nice embossing on it. And then we pop ourselves into here and we have the pistol itself. So we've got our Mark 23 mag, a silencer, a bunch of BBs, and then here's some of the parts that effectively were taken out and then replaced. And I'll talk about what parts were replaced. And then we've also got the barrel that was replaced as well, and the manual. So first things first, let's kind of just talk about this pistol. This is a hugely well-known pistol. Lots of people use it. It's the classic sniper pistol, and the reason it's a sniper pistol is because of this guy here, and essentially because of this guy here. Because in essence, this is one of the quietest pistols you will ever come across, and it's also a really super accurate pistol as well. And one of the reasons why it's so quiet, it is a non-blowback pistol. So I'm just going to sort of open this up and kind of take the pieces out so we can have a look at them. So we've got the silencer, we've got the magazine, and we've got the actual pistol itself. This is kind of the basic stuff. You've also got a cleaning rod in there, and you've also got some BBs and so on. I'll just pop this to one side. And then we will talk about the pistol. So, the standard Tokyo Marui pistol comes with all the bits we talked about. It also has this LAM unit on the bottom. Personally, it's basically a torch. You pop some batteries in somewhere, and that's pretty much it. It's a torch. I wouldn't say it is the best thing on the planet, but it looks nice. The actual real module is a laser and all that kind of stuff. But to be perfectly honest, on mine, I don't run it. And anyone I know who's got a Mark 23, I don't think I've ever seen anyone run that. So one of the reasons this gun's so popular is it is really quiet, and we have here, I'm just going to get mine. This is actually my personal gun. I'm just going to pop the silencer on here. Never remember which way around it is. And I have a mic somewhere. There it is, and we have our mag. And so this is the pistol. And just to kind of show you this, I'm going to take my wireless mic off and just put it close by and fire. You can hear that it is probably quite loud on the mic actually, because I put the mic right next to it. But it is a very quiet pistol. I've actually measured this with a decibel meter before now, and it actually is really quiet. And I wonder if I've actually got my decibel meter to hand. Okay, this is a decibel meter, and I'm just going to pop it down here, and I'm going to start recording. So you can actually, I'm just going to leave it there, and you should be able to see the noise. So this is me talking, and it drops down to about a low of 35, so remember that. So I'm going to take the pistol, and I'm just going to fire it like this. As you can tell, it actually sort of peaks around that kind of 60 dB mark. And if I just kind of reset the max again. So I'm going to reset it and just do it again so you can see the actual max. That is really quiet. So that was peaking around 60 as the max. So that's how quiet this thing is. And this is the reason why it's a favourite of snipers. Because it is a super quiet pistol. Without this silencer, by the way, it is a good bit louder. But this is such a quiet gun. And that is attributed to the silencer and the fact it's a non-blowback pistol. And also, because it's a non-blowback pistol, and it's a Tokyo Marui, you can get away with running green gas pretty much all the time. So let's talk about what went into this. So as I said, this is a modified, pre-upgraded pistol that I got from Skirmshop, UK, built by Snipermechanic, and it's got essentially some kind of classic upgrade elements to it that essentially I've replicated in my own personal Tokyo Marui Mark 23. So it has basically had a new inner barrel, which is a maple leaf 133mm Crazy Jet barrel. It's had a new 50-degree TNT hop bucking put in there, a H plate, which I think is a TNT or could be a Hadron Airsoft Designs H plate, which is used for the hop. And we also have in here something which is super useful, and it is essentially a massive quality of life improvement for the Mark 23, which is this guy. This is from Hadron Airsoft Designs, and I'll just put this in there. This is what they call the TDC cover, and it's the modular one. So basically, this replaces the old cover that goes here, and because of the way the hop has basically been modified, you can adjust the hop with that Allen key screw that's just there. And they do two versions of this, one with two screws and one with a single screw. This is a single screw version, and essentially it allows you to modify the hop without having to open the pistol up, because without that you have to open the pistol up to adjust the hop. And essentially that is a major quality of life improvement for this pistol. The barrel, the hop, rubber, it just improves the accuracy in how this shoots. But essentially that is a massive improvement from my point of view. And I have one on mine, as you can see. I have the same upgrade on mine. The only difference between mine that I have is I have a slightly longer barrel, which essentially, I'll just take this off, I protrudes out the barrel. So I have instead of being a 130mm, I think mine's 150mm. So it just protrudes a little bit. But essentially it's the same Crazy Jet type barrel. The Crazy Jet barrels are quite interesting, and we'll just zoom in here so you can see this. The Crazy Jet barrels have this rather interesting arrangement on the end here. Basically, they cushion the BB with air through this sort of arrangement. You've got your inner barrel, which is a center circle there, and that inner barrel goes right to the end, but about half an inch to 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, from the edge of the barrel back, there is a kind of a second barrel almost around that, an outer barrel to the inner barrel. And effectively, what that does is it creates a cushion of air around the BB as it's being fired out the pistol. And it improves accuracy and on the pistol without a huge loss in performance. And so effectively this is just kind of, it elevates the pistol just that little bit more to make it a bit more essentially a bit more accurate, a bit more useful. And this is a upgraded pistol, and it's a nice little sort of unit. It's good to have got one of these. I just happened to be looking to get the parts so I could have one built or build one myself. I actually built my own, but essentially I was looking to get the parts, and I was speaking to the guys at Skirmshop, and they said, oh, we've just pre-built 3, and so they don't show up that often, by the way, but when they do, I grabbed one because it was already done. It worked out a little bit cheaper to buy the pre-built one than it is to buy the parts. So in effect, I got this pistol pre-built, all sorted, for about 100 and I think it was about £190 maybe. I think it was just a little bit under £200 without shipping. And essentially, it's a really nice pistol, and this is actually going to be given away. It's a actual prize for a giveaway, and that I'm doing an event. And essentially, this is, I wanted to get something that basically reflected a pistol that I have that is you know, a really solid performer. And I kind of thought that I should really talk about this as well. This is a well-loved, well-used pistol that is used by a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people who play Airsoft use the Mark 23 in some form or another, mainly the snipers. You know, a number of times I see snipers and this is the pistol they have. I have one of these pistols as well, and it is a super high-performing gun. Now, I'm going to talk about the performance of mine, not of this particular unit, but they should really be very similar because they are essentially the same build. Mine can shoot reliably out to 60 meters with a high degree of accuracy. It can shoot quite heavy BBs. I've shot .48s out of mine without any trouble at all. Although, to be fair, when I usually shoot mine, I'm running probably 0.4s is pretty much what I run in it. And that's kind of scary for a pistol running a heavy BB. It can lift that BB. It can basically reliably shoot that BB out to a decent distance. And it is really accurate. You know, you look at any of the sniper YouTubers, they all have these. They all rave about them. And the actual so hype is justified in a sense. There are some issues with this with the Tokyo Marui pistol, and they're all centered around this guy. I have had mine for a while, probably about a year now, and I've had 3 of my original mags that of the 4 I bought fail. And the Tokyo Marui pistol, the magazines for it are the weak link. There are things that can be done to address this. Things that can be changed in these. You can get away with other brand pistol mags. For instance, there is an ASG, I think it's ASG or STI version of this pistol. It's not as good overall. It's, you know, broadly the same, parts are the same pretty much. You can interswap magazines, for instance, and their magazines are more reliable than these, but there are some issues. So one of the things about these is if you want to get into the mag, and again, I'll just try and zoom in here so we can see it. So on this magazine, there are 3 pins on this side, and those are required to be taken out to be able to open this up. On this side, however, there are 2. One of the pins is kind of only goes part way in. So getting into these magazines is not trivial. I've had the valve or the area around the valve sort of fail, or around here the seals fail, so essentially it starts to leak. The other thing about these magazines, and I think it's only the case on the Tokyo Maruis, is there is a high pressure valve in these. So if you put too heavy a gas in the Tokyo Marui mags, it will blow this valve and essentially stop it working. So for instance, if I put Garda Black in this, or black gas, or whatever, it will cause this pressure valve that's in here to blow and essentially render the magazine useless. Now you can fix that by altering the internals of this mag to essentially remove that feature and essentially solve that problem. But then you still have to get past this stupid pin arrangement. So as I say, the weak link on this gun is the mags, but there are things that can be done to address that. But you know, the actual base pistol minus this is a very solid piece of kit. The silencer is a really good piece of kit as well. It actually is one of the few silencers on Airsoft that I've actually seen that works really well. You can't really tell. It is all foam in there. It isn't baffled, but again, there are lots of mods that can be done to improve the performance of this the silencer over the stock version. Just to kind of show you what it looks like inside. It has got essentially these, and this is from my own silencer. And there are lots of mods where you can do cuts into these to add baffles. There are mods where you change the material to basically be different materials that you can use for baffles and so on. And there are also a few other brands now for magazines that can essentially replace this with ones that perform better as well. But this pistol silencer, suppressor, whatever you want to call it, is very, very good out of the box. You know, this is a very quiet pistol out of the box. I have only got one other pistol which performs and is as quiet as this, and that is another non-blowback pistol, which is a P99 from Marui. And the only difference between the two is this one has a noisier mechanism than the Marui, but the Marui has a slightly higher pitch noise because of the silencer is slightly different in design. The Marui silencer is basically this. It's a bit smaller, and it's got a wider hole, and it kind of has a slightly higher pitch noise. This is more of a dull thud, and in undergrowth and in like woodlands, you won't hear this. It will basically get lost in the undergrowth. So ultimately, it is a very nice pistol. It's a very, very good piece of kit, and I heartily recommend, if you are wanting to sort of take up a more covert role in airsoft, look at one of these. There are some issues with the magazines, but they can all be addressed. There is one other thing about this pistol that probably should be mentioned. It is huge, and it does suffer from a issue of there are not that many holsters around for this pistol. You may be able to pick up off eBay a real steel Mark 23 holster if you are lucky, but it probably won't be cheap. There are a few non-real steel holsters around that could probably take it if you sort of play around with them. But for instance, I typically use the Warrior universal holster, and it will sort of fit ish, but you can't use the silencer on it. You'll have to keep the silencer separate. There's a couple of 3D printed ones that are around which have a weird mechanism that sort of you push in the pistol to clip it in and hold it in place. There are some other cloth-based ones as well that you can get, which are drop leg and so on. But it is kind of difficult to find holsters for it, but once you've found one, you'll be fine. And essentially, it's just a case of finding something you like. So with that, we're going to finish up. I say this is the Tokyo Marui Mark 23 pistol. This is a pre-upgraded pistol that I've acquired from Skirmshop in the UK, who on occasion do release pre-upgraded versions. This has been upgraded with a 133mm Maple Leaf Crazy Jet barrel, a Hadron Airsoft Designs TDC cover, a TNT 50-degree hot bucking, and a H nub for the actual hop rubber and in the hop. And with that, thanks for watching. If you found today's video useful, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of the content, please subscribe to the channel. And I will leave you there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and goodbye.